The defense attorney for one of the Baltimore police officers charged in the gun trace task force case says his client had asked to be taken off of the streets and instead was assigned to the gun unit. Daniel Herslow, who has a long history of complaints, wanted off the streets, his attorney, William Purpura, told The Sun, and his sergeant, John Burns, recommended that he receive a desk job. Instead, he was placed in the gun squad in December 2015, Purpura said. The police department said it could not confirm the claim. They will have to prove that it's true and that it's relevant, said spokesman TJ Smith. New assertions will now be made as we enter the criminal trials in every effort to mitigate the criminal behaviors of the defendants. Herslow is charged in U.S. District Court with racketeering conspiracy for a string of robberies that occurred between 2014 and 2016. He is also charged with taking fraudulent overtime for hours not worked. He has pleaded not guilty, and is scheduled to go to trial next month with two other officers charged in the case. Purpura said in court this week that Herslow readily admits to bad conduct in taking money from arrestees. But he plans to argue to a jury that Herslow had the legal authority to stop people and seize drugs, guns, and money. Any money then converted for personal use is theft, not robbery or extortion. The judge overseeing the case, Catherine Blake, appeared to take a dim view of the theory, while federal prosecutors called it astonishing. Prior to the gun trace task force allegations, Herslow faced a number of complaints. By 2006, he had already amassed 29 complaints. Only one had been sustained, but one judge said the sheer number was cause for alarm. Misconduct, sometimes when it's frequent enough, it indicates a lack of desire to tell the truth, Baltimore Circuit Judge John Previs said after reviewing Herslow's internal affairs file. From 2007 to 2010, the city paid $200,000 to settle 3 lawsuits against Herslow, in which he was accused of breaking a man's jaw and nose, breaking a woman's arm, and for arresting a woman who was selling church raffle tickets. The attorney for a detective charged in the Baltimore Police gun trace task force racketeering case hopes to convince a jury that his client took money from people under legal circumstances and that pocketing the money is a lesser crime than the robbery and extortion charges he is facing. The argument. The attorney for a detective charged in the Baltimore Police gun trace task force racketeering case hopes to convince a jury that his client took money from people under legal circumstances and that pocketing the money is a lesser crime than the robbery and extortion charges he is facing. The argument. The Sun featured Herslow in a 2014 series called Undue Force, which looked at officers with multiple lawsuit settlements. A year after that report, and during the tenure of Police Commissioner Kevin Davis, Herslow was promoted into the gun trace task force. Police have declined to discuss what considerations the agency took into account when staffing the elite gun unit. We wish we could go back to yesteryear in a time capsule and address the shortcomings that serve to contribute to today's revelation of years of crimes perpetrated by police officers.